Hey everybody, it's Dennish, and welcome to Living Your Best Life. We're missing Jonathan this week. He had some personal reasons that couldn't be here, so I wanted to let Jonathan know we're thinking of you today. And I want to welcome Jamie PK from Texas. Jamie.
Hi, Anne. How are you? It's another wonderful Thursday, is it not?
Oh, it's going to be terrific. And I think our show today, I think everybody's going to come away with a positive outlook on what we're talking about today. Before I begin, though, Jamie, um, sure, we have a caller already.
Oh, do we? Well, again, I'm sorry we don't have Jonathan with us, but let's go to our caller.
Hello, caller.
Hey, happy birthday, baby. Whoa, I love you so.
I don't know.
60 candles make a lovely life. Happy birthday, baby.
Who am I talking? Who am I talking to?
This is Cherry Petito.
No.
This is Jamie PK and Ann Dennish.
Oh, well, it's calling Cherry. I wanted to wish her a happy birthday. This is
Well, thank
Ken
you.
Brady from the casinos.
If it makes you feel better, my birthday's next week. So,
This is Ken Brady from the casinos. She knows me real well.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome to Living Your Best Life. Well, that was a good start to the show.
Well, yeah, you just started your show.
Yes, we did.
I've been on the show.
That's great.
You guys don't know me, right?
No, I don't. I have not met you yet.
Well, I'm the lead vocalist of a group called the Casinos. Our hit record was "Then You Can Tell Me Goodbye" in 1967.
Wow, that's impressive.
It's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame now. So.
Well, congratulations on that. I'm telling you, you meet some exciting people on Hamilton Radio.
Yeah. Well, when's your birthday? I'll call you back.
Mine's actually the 15th.
Mine's the 19th.
Oh, okay. Okay,
March.
it's close. Well, we're actually not going to be here next week. Okay.
I'm sorry I interrupted your show.
That's okay. We were just getting started. What a nice way to start the show.
Okay. Well, you tell Jerry to give me a call if you hear from her.
We will. Thank you. Have a great day.
All right. You too, sweetie. Thank you. Okay, you called the radio
station. Thank you. Bye-bye. Well, Anne, happy birthday. I'm sure it's not 60 candles next week, but we can discuss that at another time, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, it's not 60 candles. Well, let's get this show started, Jamie. First, our show is two parts. We're doing Life, Enjoy the Journey. This is part one. We are not having a show next week. Jamie and I both will be out on the West Coast, and I'm going to let Jamie tell you what we're all going out there for. Jamie?
Well, thank you, Anne, for putting me on the spot for this one, but we're very excited. Actually, Anne is going to be one of my special guests. Instead of us being guests at a radio show, we are actually going to be attending my wedding. Shiloh and I will be getting married in L.A. It's all a surprise. We don't know the element of surprise, as Lifetime Television and David Chitera have gifted us a dream wedding. So next Tuesday, March 12th, I will be saying I do to Shiloh Harris on television. We do not know the air date, as they just changed the format. Originally, it was called My Great Big Live Wedding, but it's no longer going to be live, but it will be televised in July. And if you follow Ann Dennish's page or Boundless Spirit International page, we will be posting and sharing all the details of the wedding as they are released. and provide press releases nationwide.
I can't wait. I cannot wait.
Oh,
It's going to be a
I
wonderful.
can't wait either.
It's, I guess you can't. It's going to be wonderful to see you married. It really will. I think I'm so grateful that I'm on the guest list, and I'm so happy to be going out to California to be part of that day with you in Shiloh. I can't wait to just see you both out there.
Thank you. We all can't wait to go out there. We have all of our children joining us. We have friends and other families, obviously, that will all be part of the big day. So thank you so very much, Anne, for taking us up on the invitation offer. And again, we are really excited. And yes, all of us need to take off. We are going to LA, and we are not going to have any work that week. We are starting to turn off on Friday of this week at 4 p.m., and we will not turn on again until Monday, the 18th at 8 a.m. So,
and I think that's perfect because
those following us and joining us.
I think it's perfect, Jamie, because you and I are always talking especially when we do this show and we do our own social media pages, that it's so important to stop and smell the roses, to reflect, take care of yourself. And that's why, to all of you listening, we decided not to do a show. And we had talked about doing it remotely next week, but we thought that's our time away. We want to just relax, enjoy being away, enjoy each other's company. I know I'm going to see my family as well out there. My oldest son is out there. My nephew is there. So it's going to be a great week. And we want to practice what we preach to everybody, that we are taking that time for ourselves next week. So having said that, life, enjoy the journey. There's a lot of things that get us to where we are in life, and that's what I wanted to talk to everybody about. So, Jamie, I'm going to let you start this one. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself and how you got where you are?
Well, thank you very much. I definitely can give you a tidbit of who Jamie PK is.
The world is waiting. They want to know.
We all want to know. Well, you know, I remember having, I think, my first date with Shiloh. We had been working together for several years, and he said, "Why don't you tell me about you? He said, "We never talk about you. You're so professional. I really know nothing about you except for the fact that you have 2 kids and you work for the school system." And I said, "Oh, okay." I said, "Well, let me tell you a little bit about myself." I said, "I was born in Milwaukee, raised in Oregon, back to Milwaukee to go to college, moved to Texas, got my master's degree, adopted 2 kids, and here I am today." And he looked at me and he said, "Is that really what you're going to tell men on a date?" I thought, you know what? I really am bad about explaining who I am, and I had to brush that up a bit. Who I am. I actually have lived in a few states, not military related, just because my parents worked for companies that had moved, or they themselves owned companies that they had sold and opened up in other parts of the United States.
Jamie, we just have a caller calling in.
Oh, great. Who's our caller?
Yes, we do. Hello, caller.
We're supposed to start with, let's take a call, shall we?
I do believe I know who this is. Introduce yourself, caller.
Good morning, Ann. This is your good friend, Ted.
Hi, Ted. Ted's calling from Colorado. And I just want to say Ted and I have been friends since our first year of college at Wesley College. And Ted is the reason I love radio, because he had me as one of the DJs on our college radio station, of which he was the manager.
Yeah, we revived
wow.
that thing.
Ted, meet Jamie. She's on the line.
Hi, Jamie.
Ted. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing well. Ann and I have been friends since, well, let's just say we have kids that are older than we were when we met.
Oh, yeah, you had to say that. And it's true. And it's true.
Yep, it is. And yeah, we go way back. I mean, we went to college, and the way that whole thing started up, I had started a radio station at my high school, Valley Forge Military Academy, and we found a studio already there at Wesley when we got there, and then we found someone who had the keys for it, and we started the thing up, and I went looking for DJs, and Ann became one of them. There were several people with interests. Our good friend Bob, who I forgot to call and have him call in, but
Bob Bardry.
we had a great time with that. Yeah. Well,
And
last I knew, he was in Westfield, I think.
Yeah, and he's also in a band, isn't it? The Whirling Dervishes, the band he was in.
Yes. They were playing way back then, I believe, like garage band.
No, Ted has been, we've been friends for a long time, like everybody else back in the day of writing letters back and forth. Once Facebook came out, that's actually how we reconnected with one another. And, you know, he's a big part of my kids' lives. He was there for me when I went through breast cancer. He'd gone to Wall Stadium Speedway with me when he came up to visit to make sure I was okay before I went through my treatment. And we've been through quite a bit of experiences together, I would say.
Yeah. I was on a side note on that one. I was lucky enough to have a boss who was very gracious. He bought me a first class round trip ticket to come up and see you then, when I heard that you had breast cancer. And
it was one night, wasn't it? If I remember correctly, you came for one night.
Yeah, I thought one or two, but you know, just I wanted to see you again because we didn't know where this was going to go. You know.
Mm-hmm. It went well, thankfully. It went well, but you know,
looking back, it went very well.
Well, you know, it's funny, Ted, with you being on the line. I mean, Jamie and I are talking about life and enjoying the journey. Part of my journey, even getting here on Hamilton Radio, started all the way back at Wesley College. If I had never done that radio show, I don't know that I'd even be doing radio now or have such a love for it. And it's just part of what I say. Every experience in your life, good, bad, indifferent, leads us to where we need to, I believe, where we need to be.
Exactly, and that's where I think we were going with, is introducing who we are and how we got here. It is, you know, going back to, I traveled and went, because we had lived in different parts of the United States, and I started in the Midwest, made my way to the West Coast, and then made my way to Texas. And along that journey was education and family, parents marrying, parents divorcing, brothers being born. And unfortunately, even one of my brothers passing while I was still under the age of 10. And so it brought me to wanting to be in a life of service.
Right.
Being an educator and a counselor was embedded in me, I think, as a small child, because I saw the need for people to heal. Body, mind, spirit, heart, and tribe. And when I get up on stage, that is my platform. Is you see all over body, mind, spirit, body, mind, spirit.
Mm-hmm.
So
I agree.
Where is that final part is missing, is that we all have a heart. And by human nature, we are tribal. We need one another to survive.
Yes, we do. Absolutely.
And so that's my journey to where I am today, is being a teacher, a counselor, an administrator, a business owner, accumulates to me being a writer and on stage as a motivational speaker today.
Exactly.
And connecting me with you. You know, we're both authors, and we love talking.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
It's interesting that you mentioned that, Jamie, motivational speaking, because along the way in my life, I've had the good fortune of a lot of good things happening to me, and I don't know why, but I thank God for that. And I think it was around 1990 or 92, I ran across a guy who listened to a lot of motivational speakers, and he was in sales, and he was very successful because he had a very positive attitude, and he was always a guy who would make things happen. where other people would just kind of throw their hands up and go, "Nah, I can't do that." And this guy taught me. His name is Ron Van Alstyne, and he's really fantastic thinker, because he taught me that when you get up in the morning, you stop and say, do I want to have a good day today, or am I just going to let it fall apart? You have the ability to make a conscious decision and say, I'm going to have a great day today. And I know that sounds kind of, sprinkly sunshine thing, but you, if you set out with that mindset and with that attitude, things are it's not saying that bad things aren't going to happen or things aren't going to go wrong, because they will, but it's how you deal with it and how you handle it and how you recover from it.
Exactly.
When something happens that wasn't quite in your plan.
I believe it to be true. I think that's one of the things, before I even get out of bed in the morning, I want to be grateful. I'm grateful that I got up in the morning. And you're right. Stuff's going to happen throughout the day. I mean, I didn't have a great night last night. I wrote a little bit about it on my page. But this morning was fine. It goes away. It's, I think life, like I always say, it begins with you, and it's about your perspective. And I think the more positive you are, the more you're able to handle those little bad days or situations that come up. You're able to, let them go a little bit easier. You think so, Jamie?
I do agree with that. I agree with everything. Hey, you're hitting a home run here. It looks like since Jonathan isn't here today, people calling in are definitely going to make up for that.
That's right. And Ted has done radio before.
Yeah. And but I don't want to say I live my life by a fortune cookie, but many years ago, I opened up a fortune cookie, and it stayed on my fridge for years. It said, if you continually give, you will continually have.
It's true.
Oh, so true.
Just true. Wow. I mean, write that backwards on your forehead so you see it every morning, in the mirror. So.
You're absolutely right. There's motivational speakers or like proverbs I've heard, one of my to live by. If you always do what you've always done, you're going to always get what you've always gotten. So
yeah.
Same thing. Wake up and make a difference. Do something different. Change the cycle. There's so many authors and so many self-help books out there that teach you how to live for the day, and as our topic today, enjoy the journey.
Absolutely. And I even add to that, enjoy the journey and embrace the journey. I mean, no matter what it is, I kind of look at my life as like a domino effect. If this didn't happen, it wouldn't have led me to the next place. If that didn't happen, this wouldn't have led me to the next place. I guess you could say sort of justify the not so good things that happen in my life. But it's a process that works for me because I like where I am. I really embrace where my life is right now. I have been enjoying the journey, some days more than others, but I am enjoying the journey.
And
yeah.
So I said a little bit about me. You've only touched on a little bit about you. So who are you? Who is Ann Dennish?
And you have to do this while Ted is on the line.
Yep, because he knows you and he can call you out on it.
He does all the time.
Anyway, Ann.
He does. Well, like I tell everyone, I'm divorced twice. Survived them both. First one 20 years, second one 20 minutes. I have 5 kids. Survived breast cancer, domestic violence, all sorts of abuse, still standing and standing stronger. And I guess I learned along the line through meeting the right people and having the right tribe around me, and such as yourself, or Jamie and Ted, you're both very important in my tribe, very positive people. So I guess that's how I've become the writer that I am, and I'm always trying to help anybody I can to say, listen, I'm not saying my way was the right way, but this is how I got through something like that. I don't want anybody in this world to feel alone, because I knew that feeling years ago when I was in my first marriage. It was a very lonely feeling that you didn't want to tell anyone what was going on in the house. You didn't want to express how you were feeling. And I don't want the world to feel like that now. And I think when we surround ourselves with the right people, we do have the ability to change the world, if not another life, and just give somebody a little ounce of hope or make them just feel a little better or make them feel less alone. And that's who I am, unless you have more to add, Ted.
I actually do.
Uh-oh.
When you no, you'll like it. Don't be nervous. No, I was just thinking while you were talking that we are all connected, and you have options, and one of the options is you could just be your own person and be a loner, and that doesn't really help anything. But if you reach out to other people, I can tell you, and I'm not looking for a pat on the back for this, but in the last 2 years, I have in an instant become kind of a suicide hotline when I had 2 different people call me up at 2 different times, and they were ready to end it. And I had to, stayed on the phone with them for probably an hour and, shared positive things with them and brought up positive things from their past to kind of throw some sand over what was going on at the moment that put them in the mindset that they were in. Had I not been there, those 2 people might not be there now. And again, I don't look for any credit for them. You're just doing what you do for a friend. And when you have people, as you said, in your tribe, if someone's hurting, help them.
Absolutely.
It'll come back to you later because you'll be in a situation where something bad is happening to you and you need friends to lean on. I've got another friend of mine who's not as far as gone as the other 2 right now, but he's going through a difficult time. And, the last couple of weeks I've been going and hanging out with him and just spending time with him and trying to promote a positive atmosphere for him. And that makes a big difference. And it has made a difference in his life. I can see that. He's kind of coming back out of the funk right now. So it's important that you do that for others and that and have people that would do that for you as well.
I agree. I think the less alone we feel when we're going through a difficult time, the easier it makes us to get through, because we know someone's giving us their shoulder to cry on. Someone's genuinely giving us their time and a listening ear. Even if we don't have the right things to say, just being there sometimes makes a big difference.
Yeah. I mean, I went through a divorce in 2003, and it was one of the most devastating events of my life because I was of the mindset that, married once and that lasts forever till death do us part, that whole thing. And then when it didn't happen that way, I was devastated. My kids were 7 and 9 at the time. And I can't tell you the whole spectrum of emotions that I went through, but they were all bad. And I had, some of your friends will fall away when those things happen. And
true.
You find out who your true friends really are, because the few that are really close will stick by you through all of it, and they'll listen.
Jamie?
All so much. And first of all, thank you for staying on the line with those people. And there are, thank goodness that you're part of their tribe to allow them to see you as someone they can talk to. There are suicide hotlines. There's veteran suicide hotlines. There's various different resources out there for people to call. Yet sometimes we as adults don't want to show our vulnerability and our weakness.
That's true.
And reach out to an unknown on the other end of the line.
Exactly
so
true.
You being there for them is so important. And yes, when tragedy strikes, just as a divorce or anything, it's a different tragedy for everyone. Different tragedies occur, and it's a different process of grief. You can lose your animal. You can lose your marriage. You could lose your house. You could get in a car accident and not even be injured, but you just lost the car that was that first time purchase or that first time brand new purchase, or it was that dream vehicle and there's other models and makes, but you just love that car. Your energy jived. So all of those make us who we are today. All of those challenges, all of those incidences, all of the strengths make us who we are today. And even those phone calls to you made you who you are today, and you helped make them who they are today.
Exactly.
Yeah, and well, I'll tell you what. The first couple minutes of the call, I was scared out of my wits. I was like, "What do I do? What if I screw up and I can't get to them, and they off themselves right on the phone here." But instinct kicks in, and you do what you do. And like you said, I mean, they called rather than calling the suicide hotline, which they could have called with an anonymous person on the other end. They wanted to talk to someone who they knew.
And it's a good thing they called you. And Jamie, I am laughing here to myself, not into the microphone, because Ted has an experience. You were just talking about the different kinds of grief. Ted, do you want to share your story about your car and what just happened to you a few months ago?
Oh my gosh! Well, I was thinking the same thing. Last August, I grew up in a Mercedes family. My dad was born in Germany and came to the States when he was 23, and he always had Mercedes all through my life. And so I just kind of have a love for those cars, especially since both my parents are gone. It just, to me, it kind of represents memory of them. And I had this beautiful S-Class Mercedes sedan. It was an 89. It was a beautiful, classic, iconic car in pristine shape, and I had it for a couple of years. I'm driving to work one morning, and this woman texting and driving runs into the back of me, 60 miles an hour, never even hit the brakes, crushed the back of the car, pushed the car forward a whole car length into the pickup truck in front of me, crushed the front of the car. I got out. I had a seatbelt on, and I was thrown around as much as you can be with a seatbelt on. But I get out of the car just dazed. And, that was the nicest car I ever had. And it was the same body style as the very last Benz that my mom had. And, I was crushed, not just because the car was a really nice car, but because it represented more than that to me. And, it was a really rough day.
Well, at least you were okay. But you were okay. I know the car was, and I gave you a little bit of a hard time saying, well, you could have been killed in that. And Ted's going, you don't understand. It was my car.
Yeah. Well, the check from that one bought a little bit nicer one even. So, I'm enjoying that now. But, I want to get another one like that one because it meant a lot to me. It was a nice car and a good luxury ride. And an inanimate object, I know, but it represented more than that.
No, that's what
that's what I was just saying. Grief and loss comes in all shapes and sizes, and how we handle them, how the challenge even came about, makes us who we are today.
And I think it's good, we talk about the tribe, and I'm really grateful. Ted has a really wonderful woman in his life, Carolyn, and so glad that she was really so understanding. Great. And, a lot of women would be, it's just a car. She was so understanding of him, and I thought that was really beautiful. And as Ted's friend, I'm thrilled that he met someone as wonderful as she is, because she does support him. She's always there for him. And I was very glad that she was the woman with such a kind heart when he did have that accident and was there for him.
Well, thank goodness that morning, she was kind of tired, so she stayed in bed, and she had been going to work with me. She lives in South Florida, and she flies out here to Colorado. During season, she'll come out once a month for about a week or so. And that morning, she was just like, no, I think I'm going to stay in bed. And I said, okay. So I left without her. And I'm glad that she wasn't in the car because, I wouldn't have wanted her to get hurt or anything. So.
Well, that's very sweet. I
Yeah,
wouldn't
but
have wanted her hurt
she is
either.
such a sweetheart. She's so good to me. She's better than I deserve, you know.
Yeah, I know. I'm only kidding.
Oh, hey, you didn't have to agree with me.
I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. You know, I had to say that. Oh, God.
uh-huh.
I don't know. I
That
think
is in our
You know that you're going to have to graduate from radio to something with television or pictures, because there's plenty of pictures that we can put up during the course of this.
Facebook, YouTube and Facebook we're
Yeah.
on. Doc is yelling over here.
Yeah.
Well, you know, eventually down the line, Jamie and I will have our own show on like CBS, NBC, ABC. We'll have our own, like an Oprah Winfrey
Are
show.
you still,
Ask
are you
Annie and
still going to
Jamie.
remember us little people when that happens?
Yeah, I guess we'd have to.
Ted who? What?
I know. Well, Ted, don't let me keep you on the line too long unless Jamie would like you to stay on. I appreciate you calling in. I appreciate the support. And before you go, I just want to say one more time to anybody listening, the number to call in is 609-807-2492. Please give us a call to say hi. Tell us your own life experience. Tell us how you're enjoying the journey of your life so far. And just share. I think life's about it, all of us sharing our stories together. It's what gets us all through.
And just
You're
a little
absolutely
bit of
right. Thank you.
background radio stuff. For people to remember a number better, you do the last four numbers as
2492.
two sets of two, like 2492. Exactly. There you go. See?
I should know
Still
that
being a
because I
radio
wrote
manager,
I did do
yeah,
a
you should.
commercial. I did do a radio commercial where I did the numbers exactly that way. So let me do that again.
Yeah,
It's
there you go.
609-807-2492.
There you go.
Okay. Thanks so much for calling in, Ted. I'll probably call you later.
Yes.
Thanks.
I'll
It was a
speak to you
pleasure
later. Thanks.
meeting you over the radio.
Yeah, I hope to meet you in person someday, Jamie.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Talk to you later, Ted.
All right.
Thanks.
Take care, ladies.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Well, that was pleasant. You are surrounded with a wonderful tribe of people.
Yes, I am. I consider myself very lucky. I do. I shouldn't say lucky. I don't like the word lucky. I like to say blessed because it's a blessing.
You are blessed, and that's absolutely right. I think you and I have talked about that several times, that there are blessings. There isn't luck. There's, the serendipity. Everything happens for a reason. So here we are.
Oh, we have another call, Jamie. Hello. Hello, caller.
Hello, caller. This is your cousin.
Karen.
My name is Karen, and I am speaking to my cousin, my beautiful cousin, on the radio.
Thank you for calling in. And Karen, meet Jamie, whose wedding I'm going to. And we have
Hi, Karen. Thanks for calling in. I'm doing wonderful. It's T-minus 5 days, so we're excited to have our wedding and be in California. Unfortunately, the weather isn't going to be any better there than it is here in Texas.
Hey, girls, hang on one second. Jamie, Karen, we have another caller. Hello.
Oh.
Hello.
All right. Be still your hearts. It's Jonathan.
Oh, there he is, Jamie. Jonathan, meet my cousin Karen.
Hey.
Hi.
How are you, everybody? Hi, Doc.
Doing good.
I'm good. So I'm going to be real quick.
Okay.
I'm a little disappointed I wasn't there today. You all know why.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to share this with you because I printed out your notes for the first time.
Oh, dear.
Last night.
And Karen, stay on the line. Stay on.
But
No, I'm here. Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead, John.
So I'll call you later to be critical, as I always am.
Okay.
Um,
Thank you for not sharing it
Don't worry.
live.
Just a thought about your life journey and who you are now. You had planned to have a couple parts of the show. I'm sorry, I'm gonna not speak to you for a couple weeks. But Jamie, congratulations and good luck.
Yes,
Oh, Jonathan,
definitely.
you're so sweet. Thank you. And when I heard that you wouldn't be on the radio today, my heart sank just a little, but I hope all is well in your world, and just know that in 2 weeks we will be together again, and we will get to share about how wonderful it was to be on vacation for a week and unplug.
Can't wait.
Yeah, enjoy yourselves. I think I think it was a good thing. You're one of the things I just wanted to point out real quick is I was just recently reminded of how you never know where your journey is going to take you. But if you're true to yourself, no matter what direction the journey takes you, you'll end up where you're supposed to be.
That's true.
It is true. Yep.
My cousin,
Absolutely.
my cousin
Say-
Karen on the line is living proof of that as well. I think all four of us are. You never know where the journey's going to take you, but it takes you exactly where you need to be today.
The other
That's
thing
beautiful.
is, we had some support from. We're getting more and more support as I'm watching now, and unfortunately, I'm gonna have to watch the rest later. But don't forget about Brett and Simply Pure. I encourage her to call in,
Okay, well, maybe she will
And-
today.
say hello.
Oh, we have another caller.
We'll
Hang
see.
on. Hang on 1 second, Jonathan.
Sure.
Hello, caller. Hello.
Hi. Just wanted to talk to Ann Dennish, if possible.
This is she. Who's calling?
Hey, Ann, Bob.
Oh, hi,
How are
Bob.
you?
How are you?
Okay. Do you want to put me on line or?
You're on live right now with Jamie, Karen, and Jonathan. Welcome to the party at Hamilton Radio today.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I was just sitting there thinking you're talking about how lives work out and how you feel and stuff like that, and was thinking about one of my recent thoughts, which is something about walking my dog. And some days I have to walk my dog, and other days I get to go for a walk in the park with my best puppy. So I think about the difference between the two. There is no difference between the two except for how I'm feeling about it.
Exactly.
So I try to keep a happy attitude. And I've read a couple of your books, and they're really good about trying to keep people with a very happy attitude.
Thank you. Thank
So-
you.
Thank you for putting all that hard work into there.
Oh, you're welcome. And you're right. Life is about perspective. You know, you can. One day your dog is your dog. The next day it's like the puppy you want to be outside with. I understand that. It's all perspective.
Absolutely, and you think about the friends too, and one of the things that I have in my life is that I still go to dinner once a week with people that I went to third grade with, and I'm an old man, so that is a special time in my life. And even sometimes when you're feeling down, and you can go out with your friends and just sit there, and people who really love you, and no matter what you do, or unconditional love, they're always there for you, and that's a good thing.
That is great. That is great to have, especially when they're friends from a long time ago.
Absolutely. So when's your next book coming out?
I'm not sure yet. Hopefully, I'm hoping by the summer sometime. It might be a little bit of a different book, but I am working on some right now, trying to finish what I'm starting actually. But I'm enjoying the journey as I go along.
Well, hey, it's really good, and I think particularly your first book was something that I would recommend to anybody who was going through what you went through, and just keeping that positive attitude. And thank you for having that.
Thank you, Bobby. I appreciate the compliment. Thank you.
No problem. Kid.
And thanks
All
for
right.
calling
Good
in.
luck with-
Thanks for
All right,
calling
good
in,
luck.
Bobby.
No problem. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, cousin.
Jonathan, did you want to finish your thought?
I'm sorry. What?
Well, no, that's okay.
What happened, Jonathan?
I called in to say hi and give support, but I have to go.
I'm well, call back if you
Sorry.
can. I'm sorry. The one show we get all these callers. Well, cousin,
right.
before you go, do you want to say what you're doing right now?
Pardon me?
Do you want to promote yourself for a minute there about what you're doing right now? Embracing your and enjoying your journey in life?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Karen? Oh, I'm enjoying my journey. Start Jersey Girls Travel. With my daughter and I have extensively traveled over her journey with cancer. We have traveled all over the world, to Ireland and Europe and this and everywhere. And we decided we wanted to share it with the world, how to travel with handicapped people, how to travel. I have a grandson that is autistic that I've traveled with an autistic child, a daughter with stage 4 breast cancer. And we felt like we wanted to put it out there to people in the world on the ins and outs of what we know on how to travel and how to get through airports and all our knowledge that we've learned over the years of traveling overseas and traveling within our own country, and enjoying life and living life and going on the journey that Lord has given me and that I, now going through with my daughter and my grandson. I stopped working full time 2 years ago to take this journey with my daughter and find our purpose in life together as a mother and daughter. So it's been an amazing time.
Well, I'm really proud. I'm really proud of you, and I'm proud of both of you. I really am, and I know this is going to work out really well for you, and you're going to make a positive impact on a lot of people's lives with doing what you do.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. God bless to you all, and God bless the show. Jamie, blessings to you next week on your wedding. I can't wait to see it on TV. And cousin, I'll talk to you at home.
Okay, love you.
Oh, thank you. That is so sweet.
Oh, God bless you all.
Thanks, Karen.
All right.
Okay, Jonathan, you were saying.
Funny. I'm really excited. Those were a couple of really good calls.
Yeah, they were.
I was talking to. I wasn't really talking to him, but I got a lot of thoughts sent my way yesterday. One was from a mutual friend, Rich. I think Jamie knows Rich also, right?
Yeah, Rich McGill.
And
Rich McGill, who's probably listening now. I keep telling him he should call in.
He probably should.
There. Well, now if he's listening, I'll guilt him to call in.
But I'm gonna keep this short because you guys are doing great. Without me, I'm so jealous. But two things. I'm not afraid of girls, by the way. Rich said, "I'm sorry for your loss." Very common, very polite. Take it from where it comes, but sincere. And I said to him, and I mean this, don't misunderstand me. I'm sad. I'm going through a sad time. But we can't be greedy. You've been through, look, my mother died when she was 52. That's kind of a tragedy.
Mm-hmm.
I lost somebody who was almost 90 and lived a great life and was an inspiration, and it was his time. So when I say I'm sad, I am. But I'm glad he's not suffering. And I believe that we can't be greedy. Part of the grieving process, and maybe it's just me, when you know there's an end, you don't know when the end is, but as soon as you find out that it's finite, that's when you grieve. When the end comes, you reflect and you think, okay, what can I learn from this inspiration in my life? That's why you can't be greedy. You can't want to keep them forever.
That's true.
And that's all I got.
I was just looking at a text message I got from Rich McGill. He told the three of us to play nice.
I think we play nice.
To which
I
I,
think we play very nice.
to which I said,
I think
call
we do well
call in,
together.
call in.
Yeah, tell him if he wants to come play, come play.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I have to agree with you on all of those fronts. And Jonathan, we are missing you dearly, and we know that you have other obligations today. Just as next week, none of us will be here because we all three need some me time.
Yeah.
That's right.
No.
That's right. I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to watch the rest of this later on. You guys have a great time next week. Enjoy it. I'm sure I'll talk to Ann, but I won't talk to you, Jamie. So, once again, congratulations. And Doc, now that I know why you're called Doc, is why I'm addressing you that way.
Okay.
And we'll talk about that later.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Thanks, Jonathan. I'll
Take
talk
care,
to you
guys.
later. Bye-bye.
You know,
Bye.
and you were talking about introducing yourself, and you talked about overcoming a few things in your life. You talked about divorce. You talked about various different levels of challenges that were provided to you throughout your life. Cancer, unfortunately, toxic relationships. And those happen to so many people throughout life. And I posted on my Facebook page, I think just yesterday, a small, I don't know if it's called a Chinese proverb or story, but it was basically this master had his intern, and he got tired of listening to him complain. So he told him to go get salt. And he went to go get salt, a handful, and he said, take a handful of that salt and pour it in a glass of water. Now drink that glass of water. How does it taste? And the young man said, bitter. He said, great. Go grab another handful of salt and come with me. We're going to the lake. And he had him dump the salt in the lake and then drink from the lake water. And he said, how is it? He said, refreshing. Basically, the salt of life that we are given, we can either choose to put it in a glass and look at everything so bitter and so large in our small little glass world, or we can look at our world as if it's a lake and everything that's being handed to us that's bitter or salty, we can take it and learn from it, and it still gives us a new, refreshed idea of life.
Exactly.
Therefore, providing us those positive outlooks that are necessary. And it's not easy to change your mindset. It's not easy if you wake up first thing in the morning, the alarm's late, you stub your toe. My daughter is not a morning person, and neither is my youngest stepson. I mean, neither one of them. They're identical. Give them 2 hours to wake up. And I will tell you, she posts all the time about these little comedies and how her alarm's always late. She's always doing something to rush in the morning, yet she does not look at life in a negative light. Even when she's upset and her feelings are hurt, she is so good at being positive and changing her mindset. And I would like to say that I had a little bit to do with it, because the more you look at your life, it's your choice in how you handle it. I mean, the last 2 shows we've had, Jonathan, you and I all talked about, instead of reacting, respond.
Exactly.
Recalibrate. Have a positive outlook. All of those determine who we are today.
Absolutely. I agree. It's funny. I'm just looking at part of my notes, and that's one of the things we always talk about. You can't always control what happens around you or to you, but you can certainly control how you react to it, what your mindset will be on it, how you're going to handle something. It's the same thing. Don't react, respond. And I think you're right on that. That's a great thing that your daughter does that. It really is, because sometimes I think it's a learned behavior, because sometimes you do wake up in the morning and the alarm is late, or, the kids missed the bus or something else happened. It's what you do with that.
Oh, 100% absolutely. And you and I are guilty. I mean, how many times have I called you and said, okay, Sing me a song, tell me something, because today it's like I've tried to recalibrate and nothing's working. Listening to music isn't working. Sitting and meditating, I keep festering on this negative feeling or this bad thought or this bad thing that happened, and I need my tribe to help me recalibrate, restart, refocus, change that frown
upside
to be
down.
a smile.
That's right. Well, you probably call me as many times as I call you for the same reason.
Right? And it's so important. Do we have any callers out there that have their go-to person besides, we just had another caller call us about how people have called him to get him through those tough times where you just think it isn't worth it to carry on the day. And that's sad. When somebody gets to that point, there's a root of a problem that needs much more than just your friend to call you. Now we need an intervention, and we need some kind of group of people to pose as a support system for that person.
Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully someone will call in. I think the more we're there for one another, it's like, look at you and I, Jamie. Most people would not know that we've never met in person yet.
Right.
And that I almost don't want to tell people I'm going to Jamie's wedding. Oh, well, you've met her before? No, but she's my best friend by phone. And it's amazing, but yeah, I know, right?
Phone, FaceTime, Skype,
yeah,
text message.
But it just goes to show,
inspiration for our new book that you and I will be writing together.
Absolutely. And I'm like, well, the more we got to know one another, it's like, oh my gosh, this woman she's got the same mindset I do. We've got the same goals in the world. Like, let's get out there. Let's change the world. Let's change the life. Let's do this. And that's because how long have we been talking? Over a year now, I think, right?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Got to be over a year.
Yes.
So that's why I almost giggle that everyone's like, you're going to her wedding? I'm like, yes, and it's the first time I'm going to meet her. She'll be in a wedding gown. But it's exciting. I can't wait. I really can't wait to see you in person, give you a big hug, and, finally come face to face.
Exactly. Face to face. Exactly. And thank goodness we've seen thank goodness for social media. We've seen each other, just like you said, back in the olden days when you used to write letters and wait to take that whole roll of film in to be developed to send somebody a picture, and then you'd ask them to make a duplicate photo of that one negative. And
I remember those days well. But it's true. It's so much easier now. Aside from the fact that I'll know you're the one in the white dress at the wedding, at least if I saw you on the street, I would know it was you as well. That is the benefits of social media and, and Skype and FaceTime and video chat. It's a different world, but it does keep people a little bit more connected.
It does. You're absolutely right. It does.
Well, we're going to have a lot. Now, we did discuss that this is going to be a 2-part show. We are going to be off next week. And my intention is to try to post some live shots from out in California for everybody, so I'm not completely out. I want to share sunsets and sunrises with everybody, and mainly the sunsets out there, and do that. But we're going to take that week and have a beautiful week. We'll be back the week after with Enjoy the Journey Part 2. And I think, unless you've got some other thoughts, Jamie, we're probably going to be talking more about how you can change your mindset and your perspective a little. How do we get through the tough experiences? How do we get moving? How do we understand life a little bit more? Sometimes we have to let go of the reins in the world, so to speak, and just let the universe and God take us where we need to be. Sometimes we fight a little bit too much. We struggle a little too much fighting the flow, if you want to call it, the flow of your life.
You're absolutely right. I know that we have talked about enjoying the journey in life. And again, not to bring up tragedy, or more so looking at the tragedy as a challenge. How many times in life have we been handed, and this is my phrase and you know it very well, is God, do not give me another fiery glass ball to juggle. I haven't cooled off the first 5 flaming balls you've given me, and if you hand me one more, I'm going to drop all of them and they're going to shatter. You know, how many challenges we've been given helps remind us to embrace the positive, helps remind us, oh my goodness, I got to sit on the couch and snuggle with my child, or I got to go wedding dress shopping with my daughter, or today I got to hang out with my sister and get a manicure and pedicure. It allows us to embrace the smaller luxuries or the smaller joys, because the challenges we face can be so hard and harsh.
They certainly can. We both know that. They certainly can. And I think that's where surrounding yourself with like-minded people that are loyal to you, that you can trust, are exactly what we need sometimes. So often, and I don't know if you've been like this, Jamie, like I was saying years ago, I didn't want to ask for help. I didn't want to tell anybody anything. I did it alone, and it was a little, I look back now and wish I had somebody I could trust that much, and that could have been there. My life is in a whole different, it's all different now. I mean, I have people like you in my life, and my tribe is small. I'll be honest. My tribe is small, but my tribe is trustworthy, is loyal. I can call no matter what. I'm not judged. I'm not criticized. They can say anything they want, and they can give me the cold, honest truth, even if it hurts a little, because I know it comes from a place of love from whoever's saying it.
You're right. You're right. I did have one thing to ask you, Anne.
Okay.
In your book, your first book.
Okay, Waking Up.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Waking Up, yes. In the first book, Waking Up, you gave so much insight, or allowed people to connect with you as a human because of the trials and tribulations in life. And I really think that if any of the listeners out there, if you haven't bought this book, it's a very simplistic, quick read for anyone, because it talks about the highs and the lows, the good and the bad, and you're so transparent. You've showed your vulnerability, and you've also showed how you overcame it. And it's a great read. I think that's something, you sell yourself short on that book, honey. You did a great job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Promote it, advertise it. It's part of your journey.
It sure is. I know. I have a soft spot for that book, I have to say. I do. And like I say now, even at this age of my life, when people say, well, I don't want to share this, I said, my life literally is an open book, because if you don't know me by radio or social media, you'll know exactly who I am by reading what I write. And it's true. But thank you for that. That's really sweet.
You're welcome.
And I think on that
note, what song are we going to listen to today?
We're listening to a song I wrote when I was in Malibu 4 years ago, finishing up Waking Up, actually. And I was listening to the sound of the ocean. And for me, I'm a Pisces. I love the ocean. So somehow that gives me a lot of peace, being near the water. So this song today is called The Voice of the Sea. And on that note, I want to say thank you, Jamie, for being here. And I'll see you. I can't believe I'm saying this. I will see you in a couple days on the West Coast.
I know. I'm so excited.
Oh.
I'm excited. I'm sorry, everyone. I getting married is one thing. Being able to get married in California with my children there, and I'm marrying the most wonderful man. We have our highs and our lows and our good and our bad, but I just can't wait for that day to actually see him and I saying I do to one another. I just can't wait.
I can't wait either. And, for me, like I said, I'm going to be seeing my oldest son who lives in L.A., my nephew who lives in L.A., and his son, and looking at your wedding, seeing your wedding. But the other thing is, how often you get to say, I'm meeting my best friend for the first time.
We're we're dangerous. Are we not dangerous? We're dangerous.
We are dangerous. It's a force to be reckoned with, Jamie, a force to be reckoned with. And on that note, Jamie and I want to say thank you, everybody, for listening today. We're both wishing you lots of love and light, and we will see you after next week. And we're going to be heading out to Jersey or to California. I've done my time
See you
today.
there, everybody. We'll be back in 2 weeks.
Yes, we will. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks to everybody who called in today. That was great to hear from all of you. I really appreciated that.
Stay tuned for your song.
Okay, stay tuned. Here comes Voice of the Sea.
Sat there in the silence on the beach, and my mind quiet with my eyes closed. Just my time to look inside and just be. Sounds of the ocean like whispered wind in motion. Suddenly the sea began speaking right to me. Voice of the sea spoke loudly, with many secrets, many lessons, messages of love, confessions, answers came to me in streams like pictures in a dream. Voice of the sea, stories of the waves as they were breaking on the shore, urging me to strive for more. Take hold of life, don't let go. Music of the current and the lyrics of the tide spoke volumes, variations on narrations of the love that I will know. Voice of the sea spoke loudly, with many secrets, many lessons, messages of love, confessions, answers came to me in screams like pictures in a dream. Voice of the sea. Love yourself with wild abandon. Expand your heart and let it sing. Let yourself be